Namaste, my friend, and welcome to Namaste Today in the Zodiac Weather. My name is Christopher Witecki, your Sensei to Sirius Joy. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is the Hump Day episode. It is now Wednesday, October 1st, 2014. We're about 4 days away from Mercury retrograde. We're about 7 days away from a total lunar eclipse. We're about 21 days away from a solar eclipse. It's going to be a busy month in the month of October. These are some profound times, my friends. There's some big changes ahead. And today, the Earth is ruled by Step 8, which is I decide. There is a part of our consciousness that does nothing but ignore other consciousness. Isn't that funny? It's called a decision. And a decision is really an incision in consciousness. When we make a decision, we are cutting away consciousness and we're turning towards consciousness. And so Step 8 is a powerful time because it's a time when we make changes in our life. So this is the Saturn consciousness, the Capricorn consciousness. And in the 11 steps to Sirius Joy, we don't decide until Step 8. We don't manifest till Step 11, by the way. But we don't decide until Step 8. So today's a day of decision-making and important decision-making. And by the way, I chose this picture today for I Decide because our decisions sculpt us like mountains. And I think these are beautiful mountains. And I love picking the pictures. That's my favorite part of the day, incidentally, is choosing the pictures for the show. But also, I think because the sun's in Libra, we're all looking for paradise. I think we're all looking for total beauty, love, giving and receiving, total ease. And to me, that's the ocean, and that's also why it's mountains in paradise. But before we talk about decision-making and what goes into it, let's first tame our brain, shall we? With the phrase of the day. I decide to listen to my heart first. I decide to listen to my heart first. If you listen to your heart first and you base all your decisions on your heart's decision, in other words, if your heart's okay with it, that's the biggest, greatest green light, not just from your own life, but from God, Creator herself. Because love is what everything is based on. So if you have love come up in your heart when you're considering a decision, then you've made the right decision. You have your heart's support. You have Creator's support. You have the universe's support. You have all of creation's support. It's all based on love. So I decide to listen to my heart first before I make my decisions. And if you do that, my friend, I don't think you can go wrong. Today, the serious step of the day is Step 8. And I have to say Step 8 is probably the most serious step there is. This is where it gets serious. There comes a point when we have to turn our back on one direction and move into another direction. I'll talk more about that in the Sensei Sunrise, but today's the day. It's the day to decide. And in the first 11 steps, when Step 8 rules, it is a decision. It is a clean decision, and sometimes we go back and forth on the decision. And in Libra, that's the classic sign for having a difficult time making decisions. We'll talk about that in the Sensei Sunrise as well. In tonight's sky, though, I think you will end up going to bed feeling grounded and secure. So if you have a hard day today, my friend, don't worry. I think by the time you pull the covers up, you'll feel like you've made the right decision, especially if you watch this show, right? Now let's look at the chakras. The chakra that's actually affected is the third eye, believe it or not. And it's the back of the third eye that Capricorn energy is kind of coming from or sending pulses of light out of, I believe. We'll talk about that another time about how it all works. But today, when you make a decision, you are closing off the end of a vision. You are basically saying, nope, this is where the story doesn't go. So it is energy in our past. It is actually encoding our past. And so it is a decision is a not vision, if you look at it that way. It's a not third eye vision. You're saying, I'm not going this way. And it really does break our energy and cut us from somewhere we're going. Now, you're going to see today in the planets, when we look at the planets in what's cooking in God's soup there, you're going to see that it's a double whammy of decision energy. The other decision energy is the moon is in Capricorn. And because the moon's in Capricorn, we are also deciding what we don't want to feel at the same time. And you're going to find out that the moon crosses Pluto, and that means that we're not only deciding what we don't want to feel, we're also deciding we want to feel that ever again. So it's a powerful day of deciding and making cuts in our consciousness. Now, this is all in the sun in Libra, so all this, high chakra energy is to decide the throat chakra. It's to decide what we give and receive, what we're willing to give and receive. And some people are having throat issues right now. It's because your soul, I believe, is working on this issue. Now, looking into planet soup, what is God cooking up there in the stars. Like I said, the sun is at step 8. So step 8 is the decision point. We turn our back on what we've been looking at. Yesterday was a psychic intuitive day, and hopefully you were, logging in to see if what you were thinking is the right way to go. Today we go that direction or don't. Now Mars has moved to step 12. It is in Sagittarius. Step 12 is a hybrid step to Sagittarius, so it's kind of like a purebred Sagittarius. And this means that we are now going to a new territory of story. This decision is going to move us into a new territory. A new territory in the sense of creating history. And for many people who are coming out of their karma and kind of waking up, so to speak, you truly are creating history. And this decision is one of many that will help do that. Here's where it's a little frightening. This opposition. We have a 14-day trial where the sun is opposing Uranus. Uranus is at step 14, which is a joy quest of 5. So it comes down to, we'll be changing the way we frame in our mind something with Uranus. We'll be letting something go. But this does mean that as we try to make decisions and move forward with the sun in Libra, we are redefining our strength and we're redefining our character. And the way to redefine it is to change your mind about it. Now, the moon is in Capricorn, and that means that we'll be ending emotional tides. Whenever the moon goes into Capricorn, we end emotional tides. That's because Capricorn is the other side or opposite side of Cancer, the opposite of Cancer. So it literally is the opposite of emotional energy, which is the cold ability to go cold and make those decisions. So emotionally, we are supported by the universe today. And this is why the sorrow of music, because the moon will cross Pluto. And this means that as we make a decision in Libra, as we make a decision about what's fair to us or where we want to make changes in the balance of things and the artistry of our life, we are simultaneously with the moon crossing Pluto today, letting go of an old way, letting go of an old system. And because Pluto's at step 11, this is the healing right now. So this is a powerful day. Even if you end up making decisions between Twinkies and cupcakes, I would say there's something profound about it in the background. Now, this grand trine in fire is part of the reason why things are accelerating the way they are. Mars, like I said earlier, is at step 12. So now with Mars blazing in Sagittarius, it's literally laying down track for Saturn, which will come to Sag on Christmas Eve. And Jupiter is now moved to step 16. It was at 15 bringing peace. Now today it says, okay, God takes over. Step 16 is where God comes in. So our decisions, as soon as they're made, the universe takes over. We start to do-si-do, and you can say fate moves forward. Venus has moved to step 2, which means we are feeling Libra, and if everything is moving and smoothing correctly in your life, you should be feeling some good vibrations. The Earth has been feeling good. I've been outside in the wilderness the last couple of days, and Mother Earth is feeling so good. I love Venus. I love Libra. So today we are really feeling it, and you can open up to emotional healing when Venus is at step 2. So this brings us to our Sensei Sunrise. It's actually helpful for me to switch energies here. So the serious step of the day is step 8, which is I decide. And I'm going to teach you something really quick about the I decide consciousness. If you've been watching me long enough in the steps to serious joy, step 0 is I protect. 0, right? And 0 is basically God energy. That's what God does. If you know sacred geometry and the collective conscious and the shape of conscious, the first shape God finds is 0 after going out in every direction, in every way to infinity in 3 directions. And that 0 is step 0. That's a creation. At some point we create and we separate ourselves from creator. That's what the 0 step is. Step 8 is interesting because to me step 8 is a 0 that goes one of 2 ways. Either the person twists the 0 into what I call a crazy 8, which means the energy doesn't get resolved. It gets sent around in a crazy way and back, and sent around in a crazy way and back. And there are spirits out there who make certain decisions that aren't really decisions, and they keep you in a crazy 8. It's like a bad contract with the universe. And we make crazy 8 decisions that keep us crazy our whole life. The other way to make a decision is to separate the 2 zeros. And that is actually how creation works. If you know an egg, cells, everything, how does God do it? God cuts away and separates. There are 2 where there are 1. Sometimes the cells are buddies, sometimes they're not. I mean, it depends on the organism and how the whole little do-si-do is going to go. The point is in a decision making today, there is a clean decision that is in the same collective consciousness of Creator, which is a clean break from what doesn't work and trusting the new division of yourself that will work. Or you can make a half-assed decision and stay stuck in the situation, endlessly looping around and around. And you may find that there are many situations in your life that are stuck in the crazy eight form. And that brings us to today's gong. So today's gong is designed to help you make a clean decision. There are two parts to making a decision, like I said. One is to check it, throw it by your heart. So today, whatever you're deciding, we'll talk about it in the Zodiac weather, where you're making a decision and where you're cutting away from with the moon crossing over Pluto. It's kind of a two-step process today. But wherever you are making a decision, especially in Libra, sometimes it can be hard to make a decision. Libras are classically known as not being able to make decisions, going back and forth, back and forth. So what is the secret? Well, for one, your heart really wants it one way. Your heart isn't having a problem making a decision usually. The problem usually is that we are including other dialogue with our ego or our mind or our beliefs or our history or our karma or all these other things, these other voices in us that are weighing in on the decision. And to me, that is really what clouds our life, is because we give in to those things, right? So when you ask your heart if it's into it, you can really be honest with your heart. You'll get your answer. But a lot of times when our heart answers, the first thing we do is start arguing with the answer. We start, no, well, maybe, like we go into this whole dialogue and it's about staying clean to the heart. So if you can't do that, well, then I have today's gong. What if it was all up to you? If you can't get into your heart today and really get a clean answer from your heart, which takes practice, it's not easy to walk on our heart, it takes practice every day, then play this mind game with yourself. What if everything in the planet was up to you? What if it was all your call, the way it would be your way, nobody would argue with it, it would be your way. If it was all your way and you could do it the way you wanted, what way would that be? I bet you it's the same way your heart wants. Meditate on that, and I'll be right back. And here we are at our Soulart trading shop. Don't forget, the Megascope Monthlies are available for immediate download or rental at soulart.me. These are captivating. They're definitely going to give you the dates you need. And if you haven't watched one before, come on down. There are free samples for you to look at soulart.me. And if you'd like a reading with me, I am now taking appointments through October 31st. In fact, I have half-hour readings and now 15-minute readings. Come on down to soulart.me. And if you have any issues with your Megascope or anything that you do with us, hey, don't hesitate. We've got great response time. Email us at help@soulart.me. But before you go shopping for your reading and more, let's take a look at the moods of each of your brothers and sisters today. And we're going to talk about what they're cutting from, starting with the Scorpio. Step 0, I protect. Right? Sunny with a chance of attitude today for the Scorpios. You are leaving behind fears with this decision and releasing an old attitude at the same time. Okay? Step 1, the Leos, sunny and hyper aware of their body and health today. You are leaving behind an old attitude and you're releasing an old life today. The Cancers, cloudy, sentimental, maybe some issues with relationships today for the Crabs. You are leaving behind family, so leaving behind what you once regarded as family, and you're also releasing marriages. So the Crabs are just cutting the hell away, I think. Step 3, the Sagittarius is sunny and productive today. You are leaving behind some people, friends, or associations also with this decision and releasing fears at the same time. Step 4, the Aquarius is cloudy and private, withdrawn today. You are leaving behind old ignorances, so you are trapped into some kind of thinking and releasing fears at the same time by doing that. Good for you. Step 5, the Geminis. Cloudy and private today. You're leaving behind an old love story and releasing trust issues today. Pretty powerful for the Geminis. Step 6, the Librans. Cloudy, nesting, and resting today. You are leaving behind old battles, that's good, and releasing your childhood drama. That's a heavy, heavy release. Step 7, the Pisces. Sunny and social today. You are leaving behind old blocks in your life, and you are releasing an old social world or a neighborhood at the same time. So fishes swimming into a new school of fishes. Step 8, the Capricorns, the ones who decide the best. Sunny and cool, of course. Leaving behind what you called the future and releasing an old ego, the part of you that wanted that in the first place. Just going to leave it all behind. Good for you, Capricorn. Step 9, the Aries, sunny and professional today. Leaving behind an old me-ridge, which is a way of treating yourself, and releasing failures tied to that me-ridge. You failed because you weren't there for yourself in an awesome way. Ask Leos how to do it. They're great. Step 10, the Taurus is cloudy and learning today. Leaving behind an old lifestyle or a work style and releasing old ignorances, things where you were closed-minded or just too focused on one thing in the past here. And the Virgos, sunny and childlike today, leaving behind old values, used to value this, used to value that, and releasing childhood issues, probably tied to those values. It was your inner child that wanted that stuff, but if you ask your heart now, you're like, not so much. So looking at our Lightwalker Parade, which are the segments that follow this video. That was me just listening to see if the sounds were correct. First of all, today we have Venus Prime Health, Avoiding Cancer Tips, segment number 2, the truth about tap water. It may surprise you, actually. It surprised me. I actually do in that segment. And today we are taping. It's Wednesday. We're taping. First, we have Modern Mommies I want to tell you about. Modern Mommies will tape at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, just so you know. And today they're doing Super Moms on a Budget. So if you have problems on a budget, come talk to the ladies. Circle of Wisdom, that's where Master One Feather and I gossip about spirituality. That's live at 5 p.m. Eastern. I won't reveal the topic right now, but it's going to be juicy. And don't forget to rent and or watch again your Megascope. We are coming up on a mega date this weekend, and the story will shift with this decision. I go over this decision in the Megascopes with a fine-tooth comb. And if you're watching on YouTube, please be kind and do subscribe. We appreciate that. You can also be our friend on Facebook by navigating to soulgarden.me. And you can come down and be on our mail list at soulmart.me, where I will email you every day at 4 a.m. in the morning. And the greatest gift of all is to come down, spend some time at soulgarden.tv, and tell your friends. If you care, please share. We appreciate that. Now for Soul Nirvana and our Sirius joy song of the day. Today I went into the idea of Capricorns and Saturn and how Saturn is known as a diva. And then I started thinking about my childhood. Because my mom, one thing she got from the 70s was like Gloria Gaynor and all these empowering women. She used to be up late playing that music late to empower herself. So I had like a real flavor for the diva kind of women energy. And I was trying to think of like, where's a modern diva song? And here it is. This came out in 1999. Remember this? This is for everyone who's having a cutaway from something, you need a little attitude, turn it up. Don't call me baby. One of my favorite lines is, I'll make you sorry you were born. I love that. So little attitude in your step. Have a great day today. Check your heart before you make decisions. Put on this tune and turn it up if you need a little empowerment. And I'll see you in 24 with more, my friend. Until then, I love you and live, love, be.